Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. It's Gordon Causey. It's now just before midnight, 11:59 on the 6th of 2023. And wanted to talk about something I've been wrestling with. And this is going to be a difficult video for me to share. I'm going to be talking about identity issues, and it's not an easy thing to discuss. I've been reading as much as I can on identity and about how society imposes structures and norms on people and for individuals who don't fit within those societal norms, within those societal constructs, the anguish and the trauma that can result. And this is something, it's been in my, I would say I've been dealing with it on a subconscious level, not on a conscious level, because it's something that's difficult to discuss. It's difficult to confront. I've got a visual aid here. You know, society has yardsticks. I don't have a yardstick. If you can see that, it's a measuring tape. We have measuring tapes. Yeah, and we're measured by that. And that speaks to what I'm going to talk about. Because with this literal measuring tape, society, people tell me that I'm 5'11". The problem is I don't identify with 5'11". It's not who I am. My height identity, it actually, and this is the challenging part, it fluctuates. There are times when I feel super tall, like 6'5", 7 foot tall. But there are other times, likewise, where I feel more diminutive. There's a big word, where I feel short. You know, like maybe 5'3" or 5'4", maybe even less. And you know, it brings up the question of, you know, I mean, what is height anyway but a societal construct? I know the haters will say it's objective reality and just, you know, whatever height you are is what you are. You know, just measure it, just examine it. But that kind of dialogue, that kind of attack, and that's what it feels like. It feels like an attack. So I'm announcing formally that I am height fluid, and I think I might be the first person brave enough to come out with this. But I realize that other aspects of identity, we weren't talking about them 4 years ago, 5 years ago, certainly not 10 years ago. And so maybe I can be the first to, you know, bring up height identity. And I don't identify as 5'11". I don't identify as that height. Sometimes I identify as a very 5'11" is average, and I don't identify it that way. It depends on how I'm feeling at a specific moment in time. Sometimes I feel like, again, I'm 6'5", 7 foot tall. And I want that affirmed. I want society to affirm that so that I can feel good about myself, so that I'm not traumatized. And there are times when I do feel short, and I want that affirmed. And the question is, how do you do that? How do you affirm and not and be inclusive with an individual whose identity is height fluid? So, and I do have some suggestions, and they're not just suggestions. I think that I think these need to be made mandatory. I mean, if I identify as, if it's a time where I'm identifying as tall, I want people to look up when they're talking to me, because I need it affirmed. I need my height identity affirmed. So anyone who's, they need to, individuals need to shrink down. They need to lower themselves closer to the ground to affirm my identity. It's a small thing to do. It's not, it's not going to impact anyone in one way or another. They can just shrink down so that my identity is confirmed. And I will do the same on those days when I'm feeling short. I will walk lower to the ground so that my identity is confirmed, and so then I can feel good about myself. I don't want to be measured by this yardstick. People will say, oh, it's empirical data, it's objective reality, whatever. No, it's not. It's simply a societal construct. Who's to say what an inch is just because it's on here? An inch can be whatever you want it to be. A foot can be whatever you want it to be. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my video. You're welcome to share it and share your experience. If you have a comment about I know I'm not the only one who has these height identity issues. And, maybe we can add HT to the acronym, because identity isn't just about gender and it isn't just about sexual preference. There are so many areas where identity is thrust upon people by society, and people don't feel that, our feelings matter. Feelings are more important than this. So if you want to share this video, you're welcome to. And hopefully we can become more, and I'm sure other people have other identity issues, I look at myself in the mirror sometimes, and there are probably other areas where I have identity issues. My hair. Sometimes I see a full head of hair, and I don't want to be identified as bald or balding, or but got to start somewhere. So if you have height identity issues, please share your story in the comments below. And who knows, maybe 4 or 5 years from now, we can start teaching kids about this, and we can have kids, shrinking down, or maybe we can get stilts in the classroom so that kids, we can teach our kids that height is, it's just an imposition by society, and that it places limitations on a person. So again, thank you for watching. You're welcome to share, and I'll wish you all a good night, whether you feel tall, whether you feel short, whatever you feel you are, that is what you are. So anyway, good night all.